Hi guys, I hope that you're having a fabulous day. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with 3 new to me handbag reveals, so I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I will be sharing where I snagged these, how much I paid for them. You guys know I love to give you all of the details. Now, before we get into the reveals, very quickly, I just want to say if I sound a little weird, if I sound a little stuffy, it's because I'm sick. So fun, right? There's nothing that I love more than getting sick when it's like 90 degrees outside and muggy and nasty. Said no one ever, right? So yeah, if I sound a little weird, that is why. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it's all congested. It's all right here. It's not good. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of cuts because I either have to blow my nose or I have to cough or what have you. So now you know. Now you guys know that even though I love some of the new bags that are on the market right now, there is something about Preloved goodies. There is something about vintage Preloved goodies that just makes my heart beat, that makes my heart sing so much louder. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the hunt. I don't know if it's because you're able to find some amazing goodies at some awesome savings, because when it comes to the Preloved market, that's what I live for. I live for the deals. I live for the savings. And if you can get a fabulous bag at an awesome price, like, dude, sign me up, like all day long, right? Let me know if you guys feel the same way. So all of these bags I did snag on ZenLuxe. You guys have heard me talk about ZenLuxe before, and it is probably one of my favorite websites when it comes to luxury goods. They not only sell some of the older vintage items, they also sell newer items, but they have an array of different pieces to pick from. Not only handbags, not only small leather goods, they also sell jewelry, they sell clothing, and everything else in between. And I mean, the amount of items that they have on their website is absolutely insane. You can literally be on there for hours and it feels like you've been on there for 5 minutes. Like, no joke, all right? And your wish list is going to get crazy long, because I know mine is crazy long. But I think that they are amazing. And speaking of ZenLuxe, I do have a coupon code, which I will put right here. Some restrictions do apply, and all of the details will be in the description box below. But if you guys are in the market for Preloved goodies at awesome prices, or if you're looking for a hard to find piece, definitely check them out because they are absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now let's get into the bags. I do have a Fendi, I have a Gucci, and I have a Louis Vuitton, and I'm going to start off with the Gucci one first. And the Gucci is the Abbey D-ring shoulder bag in the beautiful brown leather. Da, 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 da! This beauty right here. Okay, so let's talk about the Abbey shoulder bag. I actually had this in their classic monogram in the regular fabric, probably 14 or 15 years ago, something like that. I don't even know. And of course, it's no longer in my collection. And I have been looking at adding another one to my collection, which I may or may not have found. But when I saw this on their website, I was like, oh my God, I love it. First of all, it's all leather. Let me scoot back so you guys can see it in all its glory. I love this, okay? This leather is amazing, and I do believe this is from 2013 if I'm not mistaken, but this leather is in amazing condition. And the color that you guys are seeing on camera, it's a little deceiving because in real life it looks more like a darker pumpkin kind of color. It leans more towards brown than it does towards orange, but I think it is so incredibly beautiful. What do we think? This reminds me so much of the, what is it? The soft lock? No, the soft horse bit lock or something like that. The newer one that Gucci has right now that's causing a buzz. This is what it reminds me of. So like I said, when I saw it on the website, I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. So you have this beautiful brownish, orangish type of leather, and you also have this gunmetal hardware, which I think is a really nice touch because normally I think all of my Gucci pieces are the light champagne gold hardware. So that's another thing that really stood out to me. But let me give you guys a little bit of a tour. So there's the front side. It doesn't have any exterior pockets, no zippers or anything like that. So there's the front. And then on the front, you have this D-ring that says Gucci right there. So there's that. There's a side view, back view, another side view. On the bottom, you do not have any feet, but I really love how it just kind of comes together right here because it gives it more of that slouchy look to it. And I am all about the slouchy look right now. Like I am loving the whole slouchy look. So there's that. You do have one shoulder strap, and it is the rolled leather, and you have more of that gunmetal hardware there, and it opens up with a zipper closure. Very smooth zip. Let me take this out because I do currently have it stuffed. And then on the inside, hang on the inside, you have one giant compartment. It's not leather lined. It does have the fabric. You have one zippered pocket, and then you also have, do you remember the old cell phone pockets? It has one of those as well. Hang on. Where is it? It's way down here. Right here. I know it's a little bit hard to tell just because it is the dark fabric on the interior, but there we go. This thing, it's not massive because the one that I had before was actually quite massive compared to this. And mine didn't have the zipper closure, but I love the way that this looks. I think that this is going to be fabulous for fall and winter. I mean, we haven't even hit summer, and I'm already thinking of fall and winter, but I think it is beautiful. And you do have this very generous strap drop as well. So if you're wearing like a thicker sweater or even a jacket, you don't have to worry that it's gonna be hitting right under your arm or anything like that. And since it is completely empty right now, once you put your items in here, you're gonna have even more of a little drop here, anywhere between like 1.5 inches to 2 inches more that you will gain. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Isn't it beautiful? Ah! Okay, so this one, this was the priciest one, and I paid, hang on, let me get you all of the exact details because that's important. That's important. Okay, so that one was $637. I believe that the all leather Abbey shoulder bags retail for, I want to say $1,900 bucks or something like that, along those lines in 2013. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I got it from this seller. So I don't know how to pronounce it, but this seller is the same one that I have picked up the Judy from, and what was the other one that I picked up? But I believe on the ZenLuxe website, the name of the seller is Penguin Vintage, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Penguin Vintage, I think for me is my favorite seller because they have, some of their pieces are a little bit pricier, but the condition that their pieces are in, it's insane, especially when you look at the age of some of these items. Like they'll have pieces from like 20 years ago that look like they're brand new. They look like they just came from the boutique. So like I said, they are a little bit pricier, but in terms of condition, I don't think there's another seller on that website that beats them, to be honest with you. I mean, I just think that they are amazing. So I think that for $637, I think that's a great price, especially for an all leather Gucci bag that has some age to it, but you couldn't tell because look at how beautiful this leather is. You have this beautiful pebbled leather, and it's amazing. There are no pop stitches. There are no scratches. There are no tears. There's no gnarly scent to it. Nothing. This bag looks like, I mean, it almost looks like it came from the boutique. Like that's a beautiful condition that it's in. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely. Look at that. I love this. I know some people are probably like, ew, I don't like the way that it all just scrunches together, but I love it. I think it is fabulous. And then you have the Gucci and the cursive right there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And talk about comfortable. But what do we think? Gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let's move on, and I can't wait for my Abbey to come in because it's already shipped. I also picked it up on ZenLuxe, and I am so excited because it's almost like I'm reunited with the bag all over again. And I did have someone ask, why do I regret selling any of my old bags? Because it seems like I keep repurchasing them. I don't have any regrets because whatever money I made from selling whatever bag it was at the time, that went towards another bag that I absolutely love. But as I've told you guys before, I'm also a creature of habit, and I also seem to circle back around to the beginning, kind of like I have with Coach, kind of like I have with Dooney and Burke. So It's just one of those things. I mean, you start thinking about bags in general, right? And then you're like, oh, I remember this bag from 15 years ago. I remember this bag from 20 years ago. And that sweet nostalgia, I think, kicks in a lot for myself. That I'm like, you know what? It was a great bag. I think I'm going to add it back into my collection. Again, I don't regret selling it by any means whatsoever, because I was able to buy another bag with those funds and, you know, have fun with the bag that I purchased instead, you know? So it's just a matter of that sweet, sweet nostalgia that always gets the best of me. That's really all that it is. Now let's move on to the Fendi. Now this next bag, I have been hunting for it forever, and I'm so happy that I was finally able to add it to my collection. Now I am not 100% sure about the name. I have looked everywhere for the name, and I only found 1 or 2 websites that called it this. For the most part, everybody just seems to call it the Fendi tote, but I am talking about the Fendi twin tote in the beautiful monogram fabric. Okay, so like I said, I've been wanting this bag forever. I think it is so unbelievably cute. I do believe, and I could be wrong on this as well, I do believe it's from 2010, but I think it's fabulous. It's a tote. We all know how I feel about totes. We all know how I feel about the hand carry, top handle type of bag. And I think it is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Now it is available in 2 different sizes that I have seen. I've seen it in this size, and I've also seen it in a larger size, but I think it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now let me give you guys a really quick tour of it. Let me scoot back so you can see it in all its glory. So here's the front side, or the back side. You do have an all fabric, mostly all fabric body. But you do have the double F's on the bottom part of the handles here. So there's that, and you also have leather tabs there. There's a side view. There's a back view or front view. Another side view. On the bottom, you do have 4 feet, and the feet have 2 different colors of hardware. You have gold hardware, and you have Fendi engraved on all of the 4 feet, and then you also have the tips that are a little bit silver. So there's that. So once again, there's the bottom. You have the 4 feet. Now, as I mentioned, you do have the leather flat handles, and they open up like so. On the inside, it does not have a zipper closure, but it does have a magnetic closure. It opens up like so. Hang on, it is currently stuffed. And then on the inside, you have more of that fabric interior, and you have 1 zippered pocket, and you also have a little thing on here that says Fendi made in Italy. And the zipper pull has the double F's. Now I've seen some of these with a rounded F, and it says made in Italy on there as well. So there are a few different versions of this type of bag as far as the interior goes. So if you see one on the Preloved market that maybe doesn't look exactly like this, do not worry. It is not a replica. Make sure you get your items authenticated. But there are different versions that I have seen from different years. But once again, you have just that open compartment. Now this one, I got it for $433. And like I said, they did have a few on their website. This was a little bit on the lower side because of the condition that it was in, because it had quite a few scratches on the leather. So on the exterior of the handle here, it doesn't look too bad, but on the inside, you do have quite a few scratches there. You guys can see that. And then you also have quite a few scratches here on that one. You also have some hairline scratches on the hardware, but I feel like that's to be expected, especially given its age, if it is from the 2010. Either way, it's from like 2010 to 2012, 2013, right around there. So it has been around for a little bit. And you also have some leather creasing on these tabs here. Personally, I don't think it's too bad by any means whatsoever, especially for the price point. Not only that, it also had a really big stain right here. And I was actually able to remove like 90% of the stain. So you guys might be able to see it a little bit right here. Right there, it's a little bit darker, but it was a lot bigger. And I decided to take a gamble. I decided to, and I'm not saying that you should do this by any means whatsoever. Just, I'm not recommending it. It's just that my impatience got the best of me. But I decided to dunk it in water because it is all fabric. I decided to dunk it in water with some soap, and I was very gentle. It felt like it took hours for me to clean it and feel comfortable putting it in the water, like submerging it into the water. But the fact that I was able to remove like 90% of the stain, I think is pretty fantastic. Like, I'll do it again, you know? I don't know, sometimes it's like, let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. It looked like it was mostly makeup, because like on the, like you had a lot of residue in the water. It was not nice. It was not nice. Thankfully the bag doesn't smell either, but yeah, I was able to remove it. So I'm really happy about that. So all in all, I think that it's in great condition, and I'm so happy that I decided to take a gamble and, you know, try to, to clean it myself, because now I feel like, yes, this is a bag that absolutely screams mini, at least in my opinion, but it is fabulous, right? I love the, hang on, I feel like the camera is getting a little fuzzy again. You have the FF there. I love how it catches the light, and the color of this hardware, it kind of reminds me of the gold-plated hardware that Chanel used to have, and it could be gold-plated. I could be wrong, but it has that type of gold finish to it, which I know on here it looks like. There you go. You can see it's a little bit darker. And I think it is beautiful. And just to give you guys a really quick, little quick size reference, here is the Speedy 25 bandolier. There we go. So just in case, like I said, there is a larger size. I definitely want to get an organizer for this bag because, as you guys can see, it turns into a beautiful mess. It's completely empty and it turns into a beautiful mess. So I do want it to maintain its shape a little bit more. But thankfully this material, and I've said it before, it's so insanely durable. And I mean, it looks, you can't even tell that I cleaned it, really. Like, there's no pilling on it, nothing. So sometimes you just gotta roll the dice, right? You gotta roll the dice, because if it didn't turn out the way that it did, I have no one to blame but myself, right? So I'm okay with that. I am totally okay with that. But I am so happy about this bag. Last but not least, the Louis Vuitton bag. Now, you guys are gonna think that I have absolutely lost it. You're gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with this girl? And you might be totally right in thinking that I'm nuts, because this next bag, this is not a style that I like at all. Like, it doesn't work with me. I've tried it with other brands and it drives me up the wall. It's not something that I ever gravitate towards. However, with this particular bag, I was just so drawn to it. I found out that it comes with an accessory that really, for me, pushed me to go ahead with, you know, and proceed to check out, because, you know, I looked for the accessory by itself, and I know that I'm making this really, really long. My apologies, but I looked for the accessory by itself. I couldn't find it by itself, and anywhere that I had seen that had already sold it like 6 or 7 years prior, and that had sold anywhere between $350 to $685. So I was like, okay, for the price point that the bag itself is, it's not bad considering I get the accessory. So yes, I 100% got this bag because of the accessory that it comes with, and I am not ashamed to say it, all right? I'm not ashamed to say it, because I was like, I have to have this. I have to have this. But let's talk about the bag. The bag is a clutch. Again, you guys know I don't do clutches, but it is the Louis Vuitton limited edition. I believe it's pronounced Altair, and this is in the hand-cut silk jacquard. Boom. Here we go. Like I said, I don't do clutches at all. There was something about this that totally sucked me in. And I really like that it's kind of, what's the word? It's kind of subtle in a certain aspect, although there is nothing subtle about this jewel here. But I love the way that it looks. I think it is beautiful. I like the different, or the way that you have the monogram throughout the silk jacquard. It just looks so beautiful. Like I said, I've seen some of these before in other materials, or in the same type of material but in other colors, and I've always seen those. I'm like, those are really nice, especially because they're pretty large. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's really nice. I was like, Minnie, what are you doing? You don't do clutches. You don't do clutches. Like, all the red flags went off, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter, especially after I saw the accessory. I was like, dude, done deal. What red flags? All I see are green flags, okay? But I thought it was really neat. I think that this is fabulous for like a night out, or like a wedding, because again, it's very subtle to a certain extent. But let me give you guys a really quick tour. So on the front side, you do have this lock feature with a jewel, and the jewel says Louis Vuitton Paris, and you have the rivets are all engraved and they say Louis Vuitton. So it actually opens up like so, but we'll get back to that. So there is the front side. As you guys can see, it does fold over. There is a side view, the back view. There are no pockets, no zippers. Side view. The bottom, it's just, it turns into that beautiful mess. But like I said, when you open it up, it opens up like so. And you have this portion there, and then you have, again, that jewel down here. It opens up like so. And in here, you just have the black fabric. I know it's going to be really hard to tell, but you just have one little slip pocket here. Hang on, let me see if I can do this a little bit better. One little slip pocket here, and this one says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France. I still have this guy that I have to cut off, but this little D-ring on the inside says Louis Vuitton. So again, you just have one open compartment, and hang on. It's just really hard to really give it its shape. Just one open compartment there. So it's different, right? It's different. You don't see, like, I've never seen this in the wild ever. I've only seen the other ones in different colors. So there's that. But the accessory that it came with, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Oh man, I am so obsessed with this accessory. I'm just like, I love it. Like, I couldn't wait to open up the package just to get to this. Anyways, it came with this bad boy right here. So it is a bag charm, kind of. You have the chain and you have the D-ring with the LV right there. And then on the back side, you have the inventor plate. The inventor plate that is on so many different bags. I love the way that that looks. Okay, but this is not just a bag charm. Oh no, oh no. It is also a mirror. It is a mirror. Look at that. Oh my God. When I saw it, first I thought it was just this. I was like, oh, this would look really nice hanging from my bag. And then I saw that it was a mirror. I was like, dude, sign me up, sign me up. Because I do believe at the time that Louis Vuitton did release this as a bag charm with a lobster clasp, if I'm not mistaken, and it had a thicker chain. But I liked this one because it's a little bit skinnier, and look at that. It just catches the light oh so beautifully. So the majority of these that you find on the Preloved market do come with this little mirrored bag charm, inventor plate, what have you, and it goes on the inside on that little D-ring that you guys saw. So am I crazy for having just, you know, gotten this clutch for this? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's because I have the fever for more bag charms. But that's pretty much what it looks like. Oh man, I don't know. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to use this in other bags. But what do you guys think about this clutch? I did bring out this bag organizer that I have from, this is actually for my Keep All Extra Small, but since I'm going to be getting rid of that bag, I thought for the time being I could put it in here. But just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, just to give it a little bit more shape, there we go. I think the fact that it is so slouchy would drive me nuts, but I kind of like it. Like, why do I like this so much? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I have all the fuzz from that stupid stool all over this, but it was in amazing condition, or it's in amazing condition, I should say. There are no like gnarly stains. You just have those hairline scratches on the hardware to be expected. But besides that, it's in awesome condition, right? Absolutely amazing. Look at that. So can you imagine if you're out and about, your little black dress, and you're wearing this, or if you're at a wedding? I just think it's so beautiful. I don't know if it's the jewel that I'm just like, you know, because it's so like gaudy, it's so big. But then you also have this part here, all the monogram, and in the sun it just glistens and it sparkles. It's very like a very subtle sparkle, but dude, I am all about it. This is very much out of my comfort zone. Again, because I don't really do clutches. Like, I just don't like having something just sitting there, you know. But who knows? Maybe this is the new me. Maybe this is the new me. I don't know. Okay, but it just There was something about it. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop going back to the website just to look at it. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. That's what it is. It was meant to be. But anyways, oh, so the price on this, sorry, the price on this was $503. So like I said, $503, considering that this guy by itself I saw between $350 and $600 and something. I was like, that's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal, right? So I think I made out like fabulously for the prices on these beauties. They're very different and they add so much. I think they're very unique and they add a little bit extra to my collection in my opinion. So I'm really happy about them. But this one surprised me the most. And when I showed it to the hubs, he's like, a clutch? A clutch? I'm like, I know, dude. I don't know why. All right. I don't know why. But I love it. I absolutely love it. But anyways, that does it for my new to me handbag haul. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you a little bit more info, especially if you're looking to add these bags to your collection. And remember, check out ZenLuxe. Like I said, their coupon code will be right here. They are absolutely fantastic. And just be prepared, right? Be prepared to be on there 4 hours. And let me know, where are my ZenLuxe lovers out there? If you're a ZenLuxe lover, make sure and put a red heart down below. But I need to like, I need to pump the brakes on that website because I'm getting a little bit carried away. But it's also in the best possible way, right? I don't know. But anyways, I love you guys to the moon and back. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys in my next one. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.